let's talk about Sunday. So we're gonna compete. What is it, Gracie Nationals or Worlds?
Well, yeah, I hadn't been planning on it. Gracie Worlds in Anaheim, and I wasn't even sure. I checked yesterday was the first day I checked it just to see when the cutoff or registration was, so I didn't have an excuse. But then I saw it was today, and I was like, fuck it, I'll just go do it. And maybe it's because I want a break from other stuff. I don't know, but I think a big part of it is wanting to see how I'll do. Just if I. Dude, the biggest thing for me, and we were talking about this earlier, is my inability to compete under pressure compared to how I can train in the gym. And that's been like a lifelong thing, not just something, so, and that's what I discovered a lot of that stuff with, unlocking the cage. But, and there's so many factors, but we had a pretty cool talk.
We hit on it a little bit earlier because, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, Mark mopped the floor with me. We were just in the gym. It was just us, man. We had a nice little yoga session, pretty average day, and we rolled for a good 30, 40 minutes, right?
Yeah,
I mean, we were both
minutes.
tired. We went at it. But no, man, you mopped the floor with me, and it just took me back to the San Diego tournament over at Boogie Spot. Like, you were really in your head, man.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
look,
terrible. We were waiting for a long time. It was a long kind of day. You were out all the way out there, and I don't know. I could see where it came from, but
no,
you didn't perform the way you would usually roll with me.
Yeah. No, I think I totally. I was so disappointed in myself because I felt myself freeze up. I felt myself go into panic mode. I knew what I was doing, and I was still doing it. And
it's hard to pull out of that pit once you're starting to fall into it, huh?
Yeah, and I felt good before too, man. I'd done that visualization stuff and all that, and I always tell myself, well, maybe it's not important to compete. Like, really, who cares? Who wants to go spend money to wait around all day to have one match or two matches or whatever it might be?
Yeah.
So I still struggle with that too. But I was like, you know what? Let's just go, have fun. See a lot of friends there.
Yeah.
And just another chance to. If I have the right attitude, that's all I gotta do. I just gotta go in with the right attitude and just have a good time and realize. You said something earlier about like not having to prove anything. That was big with MMA. Like when I finally was able to stop sparring, it's because I realized like, okay, I need to get over that. I shouldn't have like, what do I have to prove? Like I'm not a fighter. I'm not trying to say I'm a fighter anymore. I gotta let that shit go.
Well, yeah, that was actually my girlfriend. Because Mark shoots me a text and was like, hey, you wanna compete? Blah blah blah. I say yes, and she goes, I really commend you guys for just kind of hopping in there and doing it. And started thinking about it, and most guys, they train for a while, they really want to get prepared, they put all this I guess stress. Yeah, you probably stress on yourself to compete and do good. And me and you aren't like that. We're kind of, I guess, I don't want to call us lazy. I don't think we're lazy.
Yeah,
but
no, I think I'm lazy.
Really?
I could be doing more. Eddie
everyone could be doing more.
Eddie asked me when we were training the other day, and I felt like an idiot after.
I know what you're gonna say.
But yeah, he's like, you've been training hard. I was like, nah, not really. And I was like, because I have been, I've been doing okay. And when we train, it's pretty good. But I think my thing is, no, I'm not training consistently. I'm not training all the time. Like I'm not learning the stuff I need to be learning.
But that's another thing with you. You got so many irons in the fire. You want to train. Mm-hmm. You're a dad. You want to write. You want to
right.
You gotta cut yourself a little bit of slack, like It's still just a hobby of ours,
right?
And if we're training 2 to 3 days a week, rolling with each other, sparring with each other, you can call it a love story, you can call it training, whatever you want to call it, but I wouldn't have answered Eddie like that. Like, yeah, of course,
yes, sir, every day,
twice a day. Oh man, that was almost as bad as when you threw me under the bus.
Yeah, almost
as bad as
not
that.
Nearly, but pretty damn close.
I forgot what EBI. Oh, are you? What do you think about EBI this year or this one? Are you gonna go? Are you gonna stay at home, watch it from the house?
I don't know. I like the idea of watching from the house. If all the girls want to go again, maybe we'll take the kids. Either way, though, definitely want to watch it. I missed a good portion of the last one. That was the only one I missed. But awesome event, and it's cool to see that other people are taking those rules. There's so many places that are coming up with, like, they're saying, yeah, it's EBI rules. It's EBI rules. They realize that it works. No, I think
I love that. I love that. I think that
although you were kind of surprised when I told you about the Gracie rules.
Oh man,
It's EBI rules, but no donkey guard.
oh
And you
man.
thought I was joking.
Well, I saw the post. There's this funny meme or a post going around of Travis and Jeff Glover, and it was just funny, man. So I posted it, you know, not thinking anything of it. Probably didn't even read the backstory of it. But yeah, then you tell me today there's no donkey guard allowed in the tournament.
Yeah.
And not that I'm like a genius at donkey guard, but I do play it often and I do like it.
Yeah, it's
I like
effective.
going for legs, and I got a fat ass, so when I lay it down on people and grab the legs, it works for me. I was just like,
And that's
'cause you
fat
said-
with a PH, I think.
yeah. But you said they say that it's not useful in a fight. All right.
I think that's the reason. Yeah, like you wouldn't use that in a real fight. Same with like with butt scooting. And I was like, well, if it's effective, then why wouldn't you? If you were good at it and you know that every grappler that you're going against, even high level guys, have a very hard time stopping it, then why wouldn't you use that in a fight? Like, well, don't be embarrassed for a second. I don't look like an idiot. But I never play it. I'm not that kind of guy.
Yeah,
You,
that kind of guy. No, I do play it often, and I've had a lot of success with it. Even in tournaments, I've had success with it. I think, I respect the Gracie's view of what works in a fight, but I think, let's be honest, it's a sport right now. It's sport jiu-jitsu right now.
Right. Yeah, it's not a fight.
And I think that all of us would recognize that. I mean, in a real fight, I wouldn't bother getting a dude in Kimura if I was mounted. I'd bite his nose or drop elbows. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I probably wouldn't even use a lot of jiu-jitsu in a fight besides takedowns and position.
Yeah.
You know, and then I'm elbowing or something crazy, right? But whatever. I'm just being biased.
or lying on your back and playing, saying, "Please stop it, stop beating me."
Yeah,
You
especially
never know,
if it's
dude.
like someone who, that's why you don't get in fights.
Yeah, that's why I stopped getting in fights. Should happen like 5 times. Gets embarrassing.
Yeah, it happens.
But
But anyway, yeah, I'm biased, but I
Yeah.
think that's pretty fun. I don't think you can judge what's effective.
yeah,
and what's
but
not.
also, you know what? Your tournament, like, and I think that's their
Yep,
attitude.
yep,
And everyone's attitude is like, no, like, hey, here's our tournament, here's our rules. If you want to join it, join it. If you don't, don't.
Yeah.
Let your money do the talking.
Mhm.
I think we were going to do it. They've been super supportive of EBI. Last time I did it, dude, waited all day. Like, my match wasn't until the very end. So that kind of sucked, but I'm hoping it'll be better. And whatever, man, we'll go and have a good time.
I think that's the mentality we got to go into it with because, man, we can't put too much pressure on ourselves. This is our hobby, and we're not trying to be. I'm not trying to be Gary Tonin or anything
dude,
crazy like that.
Yeah, I'm 44. Like, it's crazy that I'm even doing it. That's how I'm going to spend my Sunday.
And that's what I was saying to you earlier, dude. Like, I commend you for that. Like, being a somewhat older cat, you know, old enough to be my dad. You know, being an older dude and sticking in there and learning handstands and learning leg locks, and I mean, think about that. You know, learning all this crazy shit, and you're an older dude. You know.
Yeah, that's
cool.
No, I appreciate that. And I was thinking. Usually, I don't trip on my age at all. I do a pretty good job with that. But this weekend, I went to my uncle's 50th anniversary.
Yeah,
like a party for
50
them,
years.
and just seeing them getting older, and all the people my age that look older. I'm like, damn. I was like, do I look that old, or am I that old? But that's kind of cool what you were saying about, like, look at how, you know, and seeing my dad and my mom, what kind of shape they got into late in life. It's like, so if we keep, and how you know, how much healthier they are now because of it. So if we do this from a younger age, you know, I'm starting a little bit younger than they did. I'll have a long life, hopefully.
Oh yeah, man. I can honestly say because in my family and my girlfriend's family, long-time girlfriend's family, I don't know. Once everyone hits 50, everyone's starting to. I don't know if it's mental, but all these ailments pop up and they don't move as fast, and you know, everyone thinks they're getting old at 40 and this and that. So I don't have relatives your age that move like you, and neither does my girlfriend. And I think it's good. It's like a breath of fresh air to see you guys and Jen. You know, Jen getting out there, and because she's been getting in good shape now. You know, and she's doing jujitsu. She's gonna do our fit, and I'm like, damn. See, there's time. You keep this going, and yeah, man, it pays. And then your dad.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah,
your dad's this
73.
big. He's a 73-year-old with a body on him who does yoga.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
No, I think it's cool. And my sister, dude, she hasn't been into yoga all that long, I don't think.
But
I mean,
she's legit.
Yeah.
Some of the posts, Mary?
Yeah, Mary.
Dude, yeah. She has a strong practice. But you said that she practiced at a studio, or?
I don't think so. I think it's just all been on her own. I think.
Wow.
Yeah. I told her that she'd be an awesome yoga lockdown instructor.
Heck yeah. Why doesn't she come try some jits?
Dude, right now she's got the kids. So she homeschools
yeah.
the kids. Except her oldest one just started high school. So.
Hey
but
Mary,
so
if you need a private jiu-jitsu instructor, I hooked your brother up.
Yeah. No, what else is going on? Oh, so we're talking about, I spent, one of the things I finally did, well, I'm just about finished with the short story I've been working on. I mentioned it a lot because it's been on my mind for like the last couple of weeks. And, but I probably spent a good, hopefully it's not too loud. I spent a good week on this thing.
Sounds like an airplane, so everyone knows.
Yeah. Yep, there's an airplane inside my house. Now we're outside. It's a nice day. We're not filming. We figured no one watches YouTube anyhow. So, and I didn't feel like putting.
No one watches us on YouTube. A lot of people watch YouTube.
Yeah, no one watches us. So until there's a demand to see us on again, and now I even got Jake and Shadows. Like, how could we not have viewers?
Yeah.
But oh well. No, I don't care. This just makes it nice and easy.
But yeah, the book, man. So that was some good news.
So I finished that. But I was thinking, I was like, that's a long time in my mind to spend on one project. So short story, 4,000 words. I think it's pretty solid. Still needs like another passover, and then we'll put it out as an Audible, just a single short story and an ebook. But I was like, that's a week out of my life that that puts off unlocking the cage. That puts off all these other things. But it was also cool because, dude, I got to work something out. I got to work out these emotions of like losing a kid and worrying about them falling into the pool, worrying about a boogeyman. Oh, dude, you probably enjoy this. I don't know if I told you this, but the other night, so my new thing at night is to come outside, relax. This is after the kids are asleep and everything else, and then get my head straight, just with, doing yoga and just chilling. So the other day I was doing that. I would do like 20 minutes of yoga, then I would do 20 minutes in the hot tub, and then I was going for my second session of both, and the lights turn off. It's at 11 at night or whatever, and I'm in this cool trance state. Everything's off. I'm like, oh, cool, and just leave everything off. But I was like, nah, part of me doesn't want that, And I wanted to. So why I was like, okay, so I'll put on the pool light, and then that goes on. But I was like, oh shit. I was like, if that pool light's on though, I can't see what's outside of it. I can't see things coming up me from there. Yep. And because I was already having visions of what was in the water earlier when I'm doing yoga, because my mind always goes to super dark places. And then I tried putting on the spotlight, and that was even worse. I was like, because then I couldn't see anything except myself. I was like, great, now I'm a target. And this is me. And then so I turned off all the lights. I was like, no, and I was like, I'm not a little bitch. I'm 44 years old.
This is your backyard.
Yeah, this is my backyard. I got gates. Yeah. But at the same time, all these thoughts go through my head of all the shit that could happen. Like, this motherfucker that's been wanting to pay me back for a long time could break in right now.
It's not a tall fence.
Hey, maybe there's something over there. Maybe there is this monster. Maybe there's, whatever. So, dude, I can freak myself out. And I was like, man, you will never be. And I'm looking at myself, I was like, okay. And I feel like I can kind of handle myself like in a confrontation. Not that I'm going to beat the guy, but I was like, I'll probably hang in there for a while.
Or get out of there. Either way.
Yeah, get out of there.
Yeah.
But I was like, right now I was like, I'm scared like a little kid. I was like, I'm scared like a little kid right now. I was like, and I will never be big enough or bad enough or whatever to beat my boogeyman. So whatever it is, like, dude, you could always, your boogeyman's always going to be stronger than you. And it doesn't matter what it is. It could be, whatever. It could be a make-believe monster. It could be the dark. It could be, who knows. But
I'm always thinking something's going to go wrong with my vehicle. My tires going to blow out or something crazy. I guess that's not the same, but it's, I find myself worrying about it more so than just like, dude, you're driving right now, you're fine.
Yeah.
But,
dude, I get that all the time. Especially if I have the kids, I'm like, something, like, just thinking something bad's going to happen.
Like this airplane crashing on us, right?
Yeah, because we moved right in the flight path.
Yeah, Mark's realtor, I'm sure, forgot to mention that you guys are in a flight path, right?
Yeah, how crazy is that? I'm like, dude, I enjoy it at nighttime, especially if the water falls on. Can't see it. Like, you can see the planes going over, always point them out to the kids.
I wonder where they're going.
Yeah, I never hung out. So, but that was interesting. But anyhow, but I'm happy about that. I was glad to get that story done. It helped me deal with a lot of that stuff. It helped me even deal with like how this kid how the dad is being with his son.
Yeah.
How he's struggling between balancing work and stress and his kid, and then also how he's dealing with his wife and just everything else. And so it was a fun little story.
Yeah, that real shit sells. That's all things we can relate to.
Yeah.
Most people can.
Yeah. So that was fun, but now I'm back on Unlocking the Cage. Pretty excited, man. Last chapter. So this is where I'm going to wrap it up. I did one final trip to, it'll be talking about my final trip to Florida, where I took one of my good friends who used to corner me, and like he would just drive, he would drive out to my fights and always support. So he knew me probably the best at that time. And so I went with him to Florida to interview Steve Montgomery, Nathan Coyne, some other guys at American Top Team, which was awesome. And then I spent time with Ricardo Perez, my coach, who has his own Gracie Baja out there in Fort Lauderdale with his son. And that was incredible. And we got to talk about, why I wasn't a good fighter and all that kind of stuff. But I forget why that. Oh, maybe that's what it was. Oh, so, and again, dude, my memory. Holy shit. So this talks a little bit about my memory, and maybe one of the reasons why it's not that great. But so, because I was trying to remember how much Nato remembered Ricardo, and before we were going there. And I was telling him, I know I saw Ricardo a couple times after this moment, but the time I remember seeing him is he looked very, very concerned, and he was like really worried about me. And he was like, man, he's like, that's the 6th time you've asked that. He's like, we're about to take you to the hospital. And then they had to kind of tell me what happened. But the last thing I remembered was, so we were at a fight in Florida. It was like, dude, right where, it was cool. That's exactly where we were staying. It was a couple miles away from the place I had fought my last fight.
Okay.
And so I remember seeing the punch. I lost all kinds of weight for the fight. I couldn't walk out, dude. I remember walking out and I just felt so weak, man. It was just, I'd never felt that terrible before a fight. And I went in there and, dude, it was the first round.
How much?
Oh yeah. It was $400, I think. And
but back in the early 200s.
This is 2000. So 2004. So
okay,
I'm working as a probation officer, married to my first wife.
That's wild, man.
Yeah, and so I have to get off work for this, and on top of that, so I'm losing, like, it's a break even. I think it was 400 fight, 400 win, and so like whatever I'm losing and taking off those days of work, it was like I'll break even right there. But I also had to lose 40 pounds for it because I wasn't doing good.
Jesus.
I wasn't being successful. I wasn't winning at as a heavyweight because whatever, we couldn't figure out why. Now I know why. So we're like, well, fuck it, let's try it at light heavy and let's take this fight. So I lost like 40 pounds in 1 month. I'd never cut weight before.
Ooh.
Everyone was telling me I looked sick.
Shit.
Dude, the night before the fight, it was like 10. It was between 9 to 11 pounds I had to lose. Like, we got there late at night. I had to cut that night. Then I didn't even rehydrate. Yeah, so the next day for the fight, I felt like I had nothing. But I remember seeing that punch coming, and then next thing I know is I'm talking to Ricardo, and everyone's looking at me like, holy shit, what's going on? So, dude, that scared me. And because later I watched the tape, and after I got hit, I still fought for like another minute and a half.
Like wrestled the ref or something?
No, nothing crazy. Like, it didn't look, I wasn't doing well.
Oh, so he didn't knock you out?
No, that punch didn't knock me out.
Oh, man.
So that's what's crazy.
This whole time I'm thinking he knocked you out.
No, so I didn't get knocked out. So I saw this punch coming, this hook or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then I don't even know if I went down, but that's the last thing I remember. And then, but like watching the tape, then it continues, and I fought for a while, and then I go down. I don't think I was ever totally unconscious. I stand up, and they raise his hand and shake his hand, whatever, walk out, go to the locker room. I don't remember any of that. All that shit was gone.
Okay, yeah.
So it was after that I had a CAT scan done. Because, dude, at that point I'm like, okay, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I can't, whatever.
Wow, man.
Because I couldn't justify it anymore. I was like, how am I doing? And you know what? It was AFC, and Ricardo reminded me something cool. The promoter, who now owns American Top Team, Dan, damn, I forget his last name. He felt so bad for me that he paid me the fight bonus anyhow, even though I lost and got knocked out, because he just felt bad. He's like, man. So,
wow. So $800 came away with it.
Yeah, $800,
almost
and then,
$1,000.
Yeah, and then you give part of that to your coaches or whatever.
Oh yeah, of course.
But even less of them, like, dude, they wouldn't even take the money. They were good. Like, and it was probably more painful. It was probably more painful for them to see me lose than it was for me to lose. Because I don't know.
Oh man.
But so we were talking about that. So
I know I don't want to be a fighter.
Yeah,
that's crazy, dude.
So that made me get the CAT scan. That made me stop. Well, it didn't even make me stop. It made me stop right then. And then I tried to get it back in shape. I was going to take another fight like a year later, even though I wasn't training really out here. And then my Achilles tendon like almost snapped. And so I wrapped it up and I taped it and I tried to still train for this fight. I was still going to take because I knew I had done something bad.
Yeah.
But then it snapped on me completely and I had to have surgery. So
Is that scar down there? And all
yeah,
that?
and then that was the last time. But it would have been a bad idea. So, but I never came through on any potential. Not to say I was the best in the gym, but I was pretty good in the gym. But it never translated. And you and I were talking about that and how it's the same thing with jiu-jitsu. You know, and now, you know, you said it's like, oh man, you're overthinking everything, and that seemed to make a lot of sense.
Yeah, man, you're so smart. You're just like going at it, letting all these things. Yeah, I think that's what it is. But I was also saying you might enjoy some Kundalini yoga, some deeper, slower, more breathing, just to get you in that flow state or get you into, I don't know, whatever state you want to call it, or you wanna call it Zen state. Just being there and moving and flowing, especially for jiu-jitsu or whatnot. I think that, you know.
Well, and that's what I got to feel that day. That's what it just felt like. It just felt like flowing. It felt more like yoga-ish, just relaxed. And, yeah, and with that breathing, the reason I asked that was Sean, who was just on the last podcast. He was showing me that breathing, and he. And I was wondering, you know, so I've been playing around with it a little bit. But, dude, yeah, the breathing exercises, that helps a lot. And that's what I do at night, man, is like, you know, one thing is awesome. Sounds super, well, it's a Labradoodle, so I guess maybe it's not
He's
out of
cool,
character. Man. But the first night we have him, you know, and I was kind of bummed. Dude, this is how much I love my family.
Wait, I love when the story starts like that.
All right. This is how much I love him. First, I let him pick a Labradoodle for a new dog. I was like, I don't really want a new dog. Like, I'm gonna love him. I love dogs. I love my dog Luke for a long time. You know, but I just wasn't really digging it. But I was like, okay, fine, a Labradoodle, fine, whatever. But we got to drive 4 hours to get there. So I drive. I get almost no work done on the drive. I'm thinking a lot about this story. And then then we go get the dog and we drive 4 hours back, and that's with 3 kids in the car. And so that was. And then that night, I'm supposed to set my alarm to wake him up to go pee and try to keep up the training. I do that, so I get like an hour.
All on
sleep.
Dad. It's all on Dad, obviously. Yeah.
But so that night I got very little sleep. 5:30 I take him out to poo, and then I just laid out the yoga mat and started doing yoga. Dude, we did like I had my tea too, so I kicked it out here until like 7 in the morning, and I was like, that's a nice ass way to start the day. So I think I'm going to start shifting my time schedule a little bit. I've been meaning to do that, so I was like, well, maybe the dog just forced me to do that. So I'll go to bed earlier, go to bed before midnight, wake up early, do some yoga, relaxing stuff, and just chill with him outside.
Something about the morning, man. Just waking up super early, watching the day get started, like literally listening to it get started. You can start to hear the fire trucks, the trash guys coming around, and well, now fire.
Yeah, that was the fire truck going right now.
See, that was good.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I used to wake up early for a couple jobs, and I like to see how traffic starts, and then if it comes up, people start walking. It's like we're all little ants in a big ass hive, or bees in a hive. It's pretty cool. I don't know.
And you had told me that. You had told me that when we had the yard finished, you're like, oh man, you're gonna want to come out here in the mornings, just chill and relax and blah blah. I was like, yeah, I'll come out at 10. I was like, it'll look the same. But no, I'm enjoying it, dude. I actually do my work out here. I bring my computer out here now and I write.
Yeah, man.
So that's how I'm spending my days. So I was like, dude, for my birthday, dude, that's what I did. I did yoga.
Just naked out here,
just
right?
Naked,
just
yeah,
dick
like,
just flopping in the wind.
Yeah. You called it. But yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Shit.
No, man, it's awesome. Awesome. Good stuff.
Yeah.
How lucky are we, right?
Yeah, no, I'm happy, man. What else? There's something else. Maybe not. No, I think that's it, dude. I think things are going pretty awesome. Just keep them that way. Whatever.
Yeah.
You know, do what we want to do. That was the thing with the competing. I was like, did I want to even compete? But yeah, I was like, yeah, you know what, I do. You know, I want to test myself a little bit and see if I can get over some of these things.
Yeah, and I like that because I was planning on it too, and then, yeah, that's all it is. We're just gonna, you know, like I said earlier, we're gonna go, we're gonna prove something to ourselves, whatever it needs to be, and then, I don't know, we'll go out to eat or something like that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. No, man, sounds awesome. Glad you're able to do this today. We will, we'll find out next week how we did.
We'll bring you guys.
But and then right now, so we have chapter 16, I think, of Brightside. It's coming close to the end. I think there's only 19 chapters in this thing. So this is chapter 16. If you haven't heard the other ones, you could get them on my website, the early ones, chapters 1 through 3, marktulius.com, or you can pick it up at Audible for super cheap if you buy the ebook. I think like $2.99. All right, thanks for listening. I will talk to you guys later. Peace.
Later.
All right.
Chapter 16. Sarah makes me promise I'll turn myself in if Danny has already been drugged. She says we'll never get him out of there. Medicated, he'll be too heavy. I tell her I will, but I'm still thinking of other options. Thinking about the ambulance, how we could steal it, load him up, and drive him right out. But the Brightside entrance is locked by a steel gate that not even Sheriff Melvin has access to. We exit Lodge 2, and I see the helicopter hovering over the square. I'm praying they don't find Wayne. Not until we can free Danny. Every boot is preoccupied, but the moment they have Wayne in cuffs, their attention will shift back to us. Danny and Sarah are supposed to be taken in the next 30 minutes. The sun is falling, and it's blinding on the way up to my place. I can barely see the sidewalk. I almost trip off the curb. Sarah grabs my arm, yanks me back. I tell her thanks, but she still hates me and my insane plan. She doesn't see how we'll ever pull it off. Still, Sarah wants it to work. She wants Danny to be free, to have a life, to be normal, even if it's only a little. There aren't any boots outside my building. The place is quiet, almost too quiet. Everyone is at work. All that remains are the smells, especially the bleach growing stronger as we near my door. The bleach covering Rachel. Faceless Rachel. Still in my closet. I tell Sarah to wait here, even though she's seen everything in my head, me cleaning, sweeping the broken bits of gifts, broken bits of Rachel. Sarah's eyes get real big. She's looking at my door that's open, just a crack. The boots must be in there. I start to tell Sarah to run, but she's stepping towards the open door. There's something on the floor, just inside my apartment. It's Danny's hat. Sarah shouts for Danny and throws open the door. The pitch-black room could hold anything. I try to pull her back, but she's already in. I have no choice but to follow. Sarah keeps calling for Danny. I'm flicking the light switch, but it's still broken. Someone's feet crunch over the tiny pieces of plastic and metal. I can't tell if it's Sarah's or someone else. "Danny, it's me," Sarah says. The bleach is making my eyes water, but I can still smell Rachel. My hand feels for the closet. It's closed. "Shut the door," a voice says. Sarah asks who's there, but I know that gravelly voice coming from my couch. It's the sound of insanity, of someone who has seen more death than me. The next sound is just as familiar. I've heard it since I was a kid. The shotgun being racked. "I'm not going to tell you again." I reach out for Sarah, but she's moved. I can't see anything. Know the only way to find her is to either rip open the drapes or close the door. Let in the light or adjust to the darkness. The drapes are too far off, and I hear Sarah's panicked breaths. I close the door. Slowly, my eyes gain focus. Shapes, faces, the apartment spread out before us. Wayne sits there on the couch, shotgun resting on his lap. He looks at Sarah and says, "You must be Loverboy's new gal." "Where's my brother? Is he here? If you've hurt him..." "He's safe," Wayne says. "For now." "Tell me where he is." Wayne smiles, looks to me. "Bossy like your mom, huh? You do have your type, don't you, Loverboy?" "Tell me or I'll scream," Sarah says. Wayne laughs. the sort of cackle I imagine his victims heard before he drove in the knife. But Sarah isn't backing down, so Wayne lets us hear his thoughts. How he found Danny in their room. How he didn't have to touch a single hair on that boy's head. Simply told Danny if he wanted to see his sister again, he needed to follow. Danny obeyed, followed Wayne right out the door. Wayne ends it there, not letting us know where he took Danny. Like we'd come over to his house and play cards, Wayne says, "Why don't you both have a seat?" Sarah says she's fine, but I take her arm, guide her to a chair. Pissing Wayne off isn't going to get Danny back. I actually start wishing Danny was in the cabin. It's better than this. At least we'd know he's still alive. Wayne removes one of his hands off the shotgun, scratches at his beard. "You really should take better care of your place, Joe. You're kind of a slob. I mean, just cramming everything into the closet like that. It's lazy." Rachel. "But I suppose Mommy used to clean up after you. I never had that luxury." I ask Wayne what he wants, and immediately regret it when he starts smacking his lips. I tell him, "We just want Danny back, that's all." "And you'll get him, unharmed. Mostly." Wayne waits for Sarah to speak her violent mind, but I touch her arm. Wayne is loving this too much. Silence is our only option. Finally, Wayne gets bored, lifts the shotgun, aims it at me. Then Sarah, then back at me. I close my eyes, suddenly more fed up than Sarah. "Just do it," I say. Sarah shouts my name. "What the hell are you doing?" No, if he wants to pull the trigger, fine, but he'll never make it out of here alive. He knows that. Don't you, Wayne? I let this hang in the air until it lands. I hear Wayne shifting in his seat, suddenly paying attention to every word out of my mouth. It's why he staged Robert's death the way he did. He's trying to draw attention, keep everyone busy. He's trying to get out of here, just like us. And if he fires the gun, that deafening blast, it's all over. And he knows it. "Rachel did it," Wayne says. "And no one came running. Not a single soul." I figured the storm covered the noise, but his grin says there's more to it than that. "And that's why you killed Sheila," I say, not really knowing, but trying to put this together. "You killed her to distract everyone." "Why would I do that?" "You knew what Rachel was going to do. You must have heard her thoughts when she left the office. You must have..." "Well, lover boy, then why didn't I stop her?" "Because you're a sick bastard. 2 deaths were better than 1. I have no idea why my mouth won't close. I'm not a detective. I don't even know if any of it's true, but my heart's racing like I'm jacked on caffeine. Wayne's teeth click. "Loverboy's using his big brain." The satisfaction of being right is erased when Sarah thinks what an asshole I am. What is this accomplishing? I ask Wayne what he wants. "You obviously came here for a reason, and it's not just the shotgun." Wayne's smiling again, pushing out his lower lip like a little kid. "I want to be in your club, Joe." Sharon's chosen ones. The lucky group I've somehow joined. Seems Wayne has been eavesdropping, listening to more people than me. Who knows where he's been lurking? "It is a small town," Wayne says. I realize Wayne could have escaped the moment he broke out, but he knows he can't last. Not with the helicopter. Not with every boot on his trail. He learned Sheriff Melvin had disabled most of the cameras or put them on a loop of old footage, but it won't last. He knows the only way off the mountain is with my help, because Sharon isn't going to let him join in. Her club obviously has a better way down the 200-foot drop than my stupid rope. They probably have a getaway car. Sharon didn't tell me, but I figured the same. Still, Wayne's here because I'm the only one who can get him in with Sharon. Do you feel special, Mama's boy? Wayne asks. He's trying to intimidate me, but he's already shown his cards. Why would I help you? I say. To save that Bob Dole retard, of course. I can hear Sarah's teeth digging into her tongue, that squishy sound of saliva, the slow trickle of blood. I ask, how do I know you won't just kill him? Wayne cocks his head. You don't know. Hell, I could kill all three of you. I start humming to drown out all the bad thoughts, the ones of Sarah and Danny, both faceless, both piled up on top of Rachel like some expired orgy. Wayne stands, his nose blowing puffs like a weary grizzly. He knows we're wasting time, but if we can't come to an agreement, we're all fucked. So he tosses me the gun. I can barely see in the dark, but somehow catch it. My first thought is to aim, pull the trigger, and end this piece of shit's life. Wayne says, remember, it'll be loud, lover boy. Still, my finger finds the trigger. My left hand under the pump, the grooves, everything Dad taught me. Never be afraid to fire the shot. I'm stepping closer, the hollow end only a foot from Wayne's chest, but Wayne doesn't flinch. His nose breaths still coming at the same steady rate. The gun's getting slick, my hands sweating. I start to feel my fingers slide off the trigger. I'm worried if I adjust, I'll crack off the shot. Sarah's hand gently touches the barrel, forces me to lower the gun. We'll never find Danny if Wayne's dead. He could be locked away somewhere, suffocating. We need him just as he needs us, at least for now. Listen to your girlfriend, Joe, Wayne says. She's smart. Firing would sound the alarm, send the boots storming. But I can't just let Wayne walk away without a nick. My finger slides off and back towards the butt, my hand gripping the wood, which I crack into Wayne's chin. He stumbles back, bends over, almost drops to a knee but stays on his feet. He laughs, spits blood all over the floor. He slurps up the rest, and that laugh of his comes back, but only for a second. It's followed by this icy stare. The, I'm gonna fucking love watching your girlfriend squeal under my knife kind of look. I tell Wayne I'm not doing shit until we know Danny is alive. Wayne says they'll be at the mine shaft at sundown. Says if I don't like it, I need to end this right now. I don't even realize he's just prying my mind until it's too late. I'm already picturing the path to the cave. My hand grips the butt of the shotgun, but Wayne's not going to let me hit him again. He gave me one, and that's all I'm going to get. He says if I don't fulfill my part of the plan, it'll be the last sunset Danny ever sees. Everything's too goddamn tense. I force a smile. Guess I'll tell Sharon we need room for one more, I say. That's the boy Mama raised. Wayne pushes me out of the way, peeks his wild eyes out the door. The coast is clear, so Wayne slips out and disappears back into Brightside. I stand there shaking, my hands going numb on the Mossberg 12 gauge. Sarah takes the gun, tells me I need to calm down. I have no idea why she's being so rational, but I figure it's all for Danny. Some people can lower their pulse to save the ones they love. My heart feels like it's going to rip at the seams. So what do we do next? Sarah thinks. Nothing really, I say. I just have to take out that helicopter. Oh, she says. That all? When I was 13, Dad told me there was no honor in killing anything over 100 yards away. If you can't see a man's features, then he's not a man at all, just a target, which lessens the consequences of taking a life. Consequences are necessary. Without them, this fucked up existence has no value at all. That's why he never showed me how to use a rifle or anything else long range. The Mossberg 12 gauge could shatter your skull across a football field, he said. But move 20 rows into the stands, and you'll just end up with a bruise, or blind if you're not smart enough to blink. Dad's lecture worked in theory, but it didn't do much to inspire confidence in my part of the plan. The part where I have to take down a fully armed chopper hovering in the sky. When I was 9, I used to point my finger as a gun and take out airplanes flying over Columbus. I didn't realize that I was playing terrorist. Never imagined one day that's what I'd be called. Thought thieves were deemed the most dangerous people on the planet by the president, the government, every school board across the country. Because we knew everyone was lying. The politicians weren't a surprise, but the pastors and priests, the Little League coaches, and lunch ladies threw everyone for a loop. It was just easier to get rid of us, ship us here to this mountain than to face the truth that our society was based on the ability to lie. Parents tell their kids they're special, that they love them. Teachers tell students they can achieve anything. Bosses want their employees to know they're valued, that they aren't just a warm body underpaid and abused. It's how everything keeps moving. Without the lie, people have to fix shit, face conflict, come to terms. Lying is the buffer that keeps us all from ending up like Rachel. Thought thieves aren't any better. We told ourselves Brightside could be worse, but we bought into the bullshit. Even though we'd been ripped from our homes, stripped of our jobs and families. We were banished to this prison in the clouds, but we told ourselves we'd just relocated. We had jobs, went on dates, fucked coworkers, and the last person left at the bar. Lies have kept this town intact. They give us the reason to shower, brush our teeth, make our beds. But none of it was real. It was no different than when I was back in the outside world. The other salesmen at BMW were just like us. We worried about paperwork, what we were going to have for dinner. We wondered if we should move the couch to the other side of the room. Little tasks and stupid nonsense kept our minds busy, but also kept us from realizing all of it was shit. Our lives, jobs, the people we called friends. I've been hearing other people's thoughts for as long as I could remember, but no matter how many times I heard their lies, their excuses, their justifications for doing horrible stuff, I never realized that I was no better. Until day 100. That's when I saw who I really was. A coward. A fraud. A waste of potential. I could have been anything. Could have used my gift to get elected to office or the head of a company. Could have rubbed elbows with the rich and powerful and had my own island. But I pissed it all away. Told myself I was better than those cheats, even though I did nothing but swindle. I stole girls' hearts, told them what they needed to hear to get them in bed. I sold luxury cars to unsuspecting souls. I convinced people I was sensitive, caring, when I was simply regurgitating all the things seeping out of their heads. It was easy to keep secret, because no one was like me. Not like Brightside, where secrets are more precious than life. I still can't believe I lasted 100 days. I guess I'm lucky Wayne escaped and Sharon accelerated the plan. Another week, and I'd be locked away in the cabin or in a cage with the orange jumpsuits. I've been cracking, letting too many people in. Now Danny's with Wayne, and Sarah's involved. And then there's Rachel, poor, faceless Rachel, shoved in my closet. Her version of a suicide note, still stained on the ceiling, the floors. Sarah's in the bathroom, so I decide to take the opportunity to say goodbye. I open the closet and crouch down next to Rachel. I tell her I'm sorry again. I imagine she forgives me. I tell her there's a real good chance when this is over, I'll be joining her. I wonder if they'll put us side by side in the cemetery. If the rumors are true, we might all end up there soon. Wendell and Carlos, Crystal and Fook. Every Brightsider buried to keep the world safe. I honestly don't know how they ever thought this could last. Selling timeshares and other crap over the phone was never going to keep this place going. Just another lie we told ourselves to keep one foot moving in front of the other. I just keep thinking about Wendell and all of the people we're going to abandon, the ones too risky for Sharon's club. If I succeed and take out the helicopter, there's going to be panic and chaos, bullets ripping through bodies. The Boots won't know who's with Sharon and who just happened to be taking a walk. It's all part of Sharon's plan. The distraction, the confusion, the melee that follows. It's going to buy us time. Keep the Boots one step behind. Collateral damage is just another detail in this fucked up scheme. Sarah comes out of the bathroom and says she wants to know how I'm going to pull this off. There's no point in lying. I haven't a fucking clue. Sarah had suggestions, like climbing a tree or throwing rocks to get the pilot's attention. Our brilliant leader is an idiot. Sarah asks how close I have to be. I tell her under 50 yards, but probably under 20 to be safe. It's been over 10 years since I fired this shotgun. And I know I'm going to be shaking and scared out of my mind. I've only hit a few birds, but that was because of the buckshot spray. It only took one tiny pellet to take out a quail. The helicopter's going to take a hell of a lot more. Sarah says she wants to come with me, but she's only being polite. She also needs to stay hidden. The Boots are busy looking for Wayne, but if they find her, they won't hesitate to take her in. I tell her she needs to stay here until it's time to make a run for the cave. Sarah refuses, says there's no way she's going to just sit here while I'm out there risking my life. Plus, she wants to find Danny. She says she saw a flicker in Wayne's thoughts. It was just a blip. But she saw Danny near a tree. I tell her Wayne isn't dumb enough to slip up like that. In all likelihood, he's trying to get her caught, giving the plan another distraction to keep the Boots off our ass. Still, she's definitely not staying here. So, we make a compromise. I tell her she needs to make sure that no one sees me go to the office. She can help me get in, so I can get to the roof.